Ladies and gentlemen, this should not be possible.
Turnover. McDaniels couldn't catch it. Off the knockaway, Reaves. Cutter. James. Oh! Major step for LeBron.
So we currently have the smallest sample size imaginable of JJ Redick's tenure as head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. But in that time span,
DiVincenzo denied by the brow. Ahead for Reaves and a perfect highlight. Defense to offense for LA.
this team had fewer turnovers, more offensive rebounds, and even just a higher free-flowing scheme than 97% of their games all of last season. I mean, hell, winning a game pretty handily where you can barely hit a perimeter shot to save your life, I don't think it was luck. I think it was genius. But speaking of genius, today's video is sponsored by our friends at Factor. Now guys, having a routine is everything to me. I pretty much need one just to keep my sanity. And over the past couple of years, being able to find both quick and nutritious meals that fit my lifestyle, when I got my hands on Factor, I never looked back. I mean, you get fresh, never frozen meals delivered directly to your door. But it's not just that, it's also the time aspect. They're prepped and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. They have a ton of different options to help me stick to my nutrition goals, and between their lunches, dinners, breakfasts, smoothies, snacks, you name it, they've got choices for just about anyone. But if you guys head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HoopsDigest50, you will get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. Once again, that's code HoopsDigest50 at factor75.com to get your hands on the best in Factor. Now, from the very tip of this game, you could almost immediately see exactly where JJ Redick has preached to see the biggest difference with this team.
Shoot three. I look for him to do that tonight.
Opening shot, Hachimura drains it from deep. Here in the NBA, his second stint with the Lakers. Hachimura bodied up. Oh, big finish! Hachimura!
Those areas were aggressiveness and tempo. I mean, Rui attacking Ant one-on-one with a clear lane recognized was just the beginning of the night that he had. But then, look at their very next two scoring possessions.
Split it. What a setup. Denied! Hachimura! James inside. Banks it home. And the personnel. Turnover. Off the knockaway, Reaves. Cutter. James. Oh! Major step!
And there is the tempo we were talking about. Now again, it's very early this year, and there's a lot of basketball left to be seen. But I mean, in terms of, say, points in the paint, off of turnovers, even just on the fast break.
Off a miss, come down, Timberwolves can't set their defense, and you throw it up top to LeBron.
They didn't just exploit Minnesota in these specific areas, because JJ Redick did so in the half court as well. Now, Anthony Davis, you all know the start to the season that he had at this point, and we'll get into how he was specifically used in a second. But one thing that you had noticed throughout this game was that Chris Finch, for pretty good reason, had been matching Rudy Gobert's minutes with Anthony Davis at almost all times. And essentially, the second you saw Rudy Gobert go to the bench, take a look at what happens.
Need some help. Cutter, Russell, layup for two.
The Lakers off the board.
Bullet feed, Russell to Hayes. Reviews, and we'll have percentages throughout the season. Russell drives in for the bucket. Roll, Hayes.
Which draws the big out on the handoff.
Crossover, James for two.
If you were counting with me, that was 5 straight scoring possessions where Los Angeles attacked the paint practically at will. And a ton of what you saw is a part of the increased actions that are being implemented from JJ Redick. I mean, you saw things like, say, simple cut-through concepts, maybe extending a flawed zone coverage out of the paint to attack it. Hell, there were even multiple times in this game where they caught the defense sleeping and pushed the pace to further exploit it.
That was a warm-up layup. I don't know what Minnesota's defense was doing there.
But then, when Rudy Gobert checked back into the game, look at the very first play that JJ Redick drew up.
Knecht, first one, he's got it. A straightaway tray for the rookie, Dalton Knecht.
A back screen from Dalton Knecht to LeBron for a rim roll option, followed up then by a Hayes side screen then for Knecht to generate one of the few threes to go down for the Lakers in this game. And if you wanted to solely talk about perimeter looks, it's pretty crazy that they actually shot this poorly given how many opportunities they had within JJ's variety of actions.
We are getting great shots. They will go in. They will go in.
But when they aren't going in, let's go ahead and get back on topic with this guy. Now, honestly, you don't need to look much further than the very first play of the second half to see what I'm getting at with this.
Stan Van Gundy. And LeBron James and Anthony Davis as well.
It begins with Austin Reaves going wing to wing while Rui covers the baseline to create a weak side advantage. LeBron then immediately initiates a slip pick and roll with Reaves, causing Gobert to help with the block. And I mean, with no Naz Reid on the courts, that's as easy of a bucket as this offense can find. But throughout the course of pretty much the entire second half, you saw how centered this half-court offense is going to be around Anthony Davis. Like, there are some pretty obvious reasons why JJ Redick has been set on this starting five for quite some time. If they're up against more of a strict rim presence like Rudy Gobert, you're going to see him extended out of the paint more frequently.
Watched by Gobert, Davis makes his move, shot clock winding down, connects!
That's a big-time shot because that was excellent defense by Rudy Gobert.
Now granted, Anthony Davis probably isn't going to be putting up numbers like this every single night that he takes the floor, but with the offense so very clearly running through him, there's so many ways in which JJ Redick has already used this to his advantage. One example, as said, simply clearing the lane. Another one that was noticed was even letting Anthony Davis facilitate the offense himself.
He told Hachimura to clear the area, and he spots him for the silky smooth J.
Moral of the story, you guys, yes, we've barely scratched the surface of this 2025 NBA season. But with that, it also doesn't mean that you can't point out some of the drastic differences that we're already seeing with this team. And speaking of some of those differences, there is still a lot of questions that need to be answered with this team. Like, say, will LeBron playing more off-ball in this offense continue to reap benefits throughout the year? Will certain aspects like this team's defense only see further improvement than last season? And hell, regarding pretty much anything else that I missed, I want to hear what you have to say about all of this. So please, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to never miss another video here. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I will see you guys in the next video.